Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, in this video we will have our discussion on this upcoming transit of the planet Saturn, which is going to be forming one such yoga which is called as the Shani Panoti for two zodiac sign. So guys, if you haven't heard about this yoga, so I'm very much sure that you will get a lot of information from this video. And if you have certain myths connected with this yoga, so over there as well, at least I will be able to give you clarity over there. So guys, to begin with, we know this thing that Saturn is going to be changing signs on March 29th. Saturn, which is currently transiting in the Aquarius sign, it's Mool Trikona sign from the past 2.5 years, but now finally on March 29th it will move to the another sign, Pisces. Now that is going to be bringing a change and transition in the karmic cycle of lot many people. We know this thing that out of all the planets, Saturn's transit is given utmost importance because wherever it transit, it somehow lays foundation in that area of the life. It gives us a chance or lay a structure in that area of the life, and that is the only reason, guys. Saturn is the significator of profession for all of us. Saturn is a karmic planet. That simply means that it rewards or it punishes us based on the intensity or the integrity and the intent with which we have done the task, with which we have done our duties and responsibilities. So now guys, Sadhasati is one such concept. I'm very much sure that if you follow Vedic astrology, you would have heard about it. And this is one such yoga which gets formed when Saturn transit from the moon sign. When Saturn transit to your 12th house, to your moon sign, or to the second house from the moon sign. So for example, after this next shift of the Saturn in the Pisces, the Sadhasati of the Capricorn moon will get finished because from their moon sign, Saturn will move to the third house. For the Aquarius, it is going to be the third phase of the Sadhasati because Saturn is going to be moving to their second house. For the Pisces native, it is going to be the second phase of their Sadhasati, and for the Aries moon, their Sadhasati will begin. So all of that, we know this thing, but there have been those astrologers who also take this Shani Panoti very seriously, and especially guys when it comes down to giving a cautionary signs to someone. So over there as well, we take this very seriously. So here I'm talking about that from your moon sign, if Saturn is going to be transiting to your fourth house from your moon sign, if Saturn is transiting in your 8th house, that is called as the Shani Panoti. Now guys, before we will start our discussion on this concept, over here as well, there are like certain myths which are attached with it. See, because many astrologers also take or they include Saturn's transit from your moon sign to the 5th house as the Panoti. Some people say that Saturn's transit from your moon sign to the 6th house is also called as Panoti, and some people say that from your moon sign, the transit of Saturn to the 10th house also called as Panoti. So I am not a big supporter of that, because otherwise if you're gonna label all the houses as a dark zone or vulnerable zone, then when you will actually be able to get the success or get the good results, right? And we all know this thing that Saturn is also responsible for giving promotion, authority, power, all those people who are like top CEOs and who are the president of the countries and something, they also reach that position because of the planet Saturn only. And Saturn is the chief significator of spirituality, of the spiritual powers, of the sadhana and all. So the point which I'm saying over here is that I do not personally follow or take Saturn's transit to the 6th house, to the 5th house, or to the 10th house as a vulnerable zone. But yes, if you will ask me, I take Saturn's transit from your moon sign to the 4th house and to the 8th house, that as a time where based on your moon sign, you have to be aware, you have to be cautious of your duties, of your responsibilities, and what exactly you are doing in the life, especially when it comes down to doing your actions and all of that. So now comes the question that you would have heard about the Sadhasati. Now when Saturn transit from your moon sign to the 4th house to the 8th house, like this is going to be the alignment which is getting formed after March 29th for the Sagittarius moon sign, because in their case now Saturn will move to their 4th house, and for the Leo moon sign, because in their case Saturn will transit to your 8th house from your moon sign. Now how can we look at it? So guys, like the way I always say this thing that, see, when it comes down to understanding the grip of the planet Saturn in your life, over there you cannot only look at individually to the transit of the Saturn from your moon sign. Over there it also becomes very important, first of all, the kind of role which Saturn plays for you in your life. Like we know this thing that Saturn for the Taurus rising, for the Gemini rising, for the like Virgo, Libra, Capricorn and Aquarius rising is considered as a good planet. That is the first thing. Second thing is that at a time when Saturn is transiting in these sensitive houses in your natal chart, what exactly is the kind of dasha which you are currently running, the dasha which you are currently going through. Because let's say for example, if you are running the dasha of a planet which is exalted, which are well placed in the trine houses, then you're not going to be in that dark or in that vulnerable zone. But let's say for example, if you're already going through Shani Panoti or Shani Sadesati, like Saturn Sadesati or Saturn Panoti, and over and above that, you're also running the dasha of a debilitated planet, or in any combination, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, Mars or Moon are forming a connection. Like in the Mahadasha of the Saturn, you are in the Moon Antardasha, Moon Mahadasha, you are in the Saturn Antardasha, or Rahu Mahadasha, Ketu Antardasha or Saturn Pratantardasha, then you become in the grip or control of the planet Saturn. So that means first of all it becomes very important while approaching these sensitive alignments that what is the kind of role which Saturn plays specific to your life. It is a good planet for you, or it is a planet which is hard bent on bringing tough lessons in your life. And the second thing is that the dasha which is currently operating on you. Now comes the question of looking at this Shani Panoti. So let's take up the case of the Sagittarius moon sign natives first. So guys, in your case Saturn is going to be transiting in your 4th house. See, if you were to ask me, I do not see Saturn's placement in the 4th house as a very sensitive zone, because guys, our 4th house is also connected with the construction, 4th house is also connected with the public, and in lot many cases it has been seen that a strong Saturn in the 4th house motivates and encourages the native in order to lay foundation to work towards the security in their life. Like it has been seen, like people who have been like they are not settled in their life, they are not secured in their life, and at a time when Saturn transited from their 4th house, it actually lays foundation to giving them that sort of desired security and stability in their life. So when we talk about Saturn's transit from your ascendant to the 4th house, it is not that vulnerable. But yes, when we talk about Saturn's transit to the 4th house from your moon, now guys, look at it in this way, that Saturn is a very ruthless taskmaster, and whenever Saturn transit to the 4th house from the moon sign, now see, again, some people say this thing that okay, you know, my mother like passed away, my mother died, or something happened to my mother's health because Saturn was transiting to the 4th house from my moon sign. Again guys, for that, it's just like that, life and death and health is something over there. Your individual chart also works. So it's not like that just because your Saturn entered into the 4th house from your moon sign and individually your mother was in a good health and she was running a supportive and the favorable dasha, and suddenly she started having problem. See, I know this thing that when people are living in a family together, all of our charts are strongly interconnected with each other, but individually your chart cannot be seen as responsible for causing havoc in someone's life. Now, talking about the probable outcome. So yes, we know this thing that Saturn's transit from the 4th house, somehow the impact of it comes on our subconsciousness. This could be a case that before you were not that accountable or responsible for your life, and suddenly life has started becoming very hard for you. There have been lot many like people around you, like when you were in this mindset that any trouble, any problem will come in my life, I'm surrounded by my family, by my like-minded people who are gonna help me. There's like kind of a shield which you have created around you. Now Saturn is going to be working over there. Suddenly you will realize that okay, people whom I was trusting, they are not that honest to me now, or there have been some secrets about them which you will get to know. Some people also get into some sort of issues in the matters of the land and all. So again guys, look at it in this way, that through this Saturn is somehow trying to give you lessons. It's not like that Saturn is going to hard bent in creating problems for you. Look at it in this way, Saturn's transit to the 4th house from your moon sign has got everything to do with making you mature, giving you life lessons, and emotionally, internally giving you that strength of the character. So this is how it is going to be working for you. So now coming to this point where we will look at this specific next year's transit for the Sagittarius moon sign. So guys, in your case, just because Saturn has got a rulership over your second house, over your third house as well, so that simply tells about that the lessons which will come in your life is going to be how you are managing your finances, how well you are treating your family, and something like, are you kind of person who just talk and who does not give justice to your promise, or you just are always ready to make those big claims and big promises, but when it comes down to implementing and working towards your dreams and goals on ground, over there you are falling short. So all these are the areas where Saturn will start working in your case. Beyond doubt guys, I would still say this thing, that in the domestic life, in the family life, or in your comfort zone, whenever Saturn transit to the fourth house from your moon sign, it is going to be a time when lot many people feel jolted, feel unsettled. But again, all of that generally happens, and Saturn only break boundaries if you are not where you are supposed to be, if you are not doing what you meant to do, what you are destined to do. Only in those cases Saturn creates issues. And like the way I mentioned this thing, that lot many people guys, although it is more applicable from your ascendant, from your rising sign, but it has been seen lot many people who lay foundation to their businesses, to their career, to the first shop, to the first registered business, all of that generally happens whenever Saturn transit to the fourth house from your moon sign. Now guys, talking about from the point of view of the Leo moon sign natives. Now guys, first of all, you have to understand this thing, that Saturn is not a favorable planet for you. Like the way at the time when I started explaining the probable outcome or the results, I mentioned this thing, that it is generally done on two parameters. First of all, what is the kind of role which Saturn plays specific to your moon sign, and the second thing is that at that time what kind of dasha you are going to be running. So guys, looking at it from the 8th house transit, from the Leo moon sign natives point of view, first of all guys, you have to understand it in this way, that Saturn is the significator of grief. Saturn is the significator, or Saturn has got a department of giving us the punishment, creating obstacle, or kind of issues of the health and the matters of the life and death. And out of all the 12 houses, this is the department which is strongly connected with the 8th house. Guys, trust me this thing, I've seen lot many cases where people are like, they are heavily afflicted with the issues of the loan. People are heavily dealing with issues of the enemies. Even that does not break people's morale or intent or motivation level and all. But when it comes down to 8th house, see, in astrology, this is the house which is labeled or called as the house of crisis. Like those kind of people who are never able to emerge or come out of the crisis. One thing after another thing goes wrong, and again guys, those kind of problems and issues which leaves a mark, that is also connected with the 8th house. So from the Leo moon sign natives point of view, and again guys, if in your case your moon is also conjunct with Saturn, it is close to the Saturn, so that means you are born at a time of the Sadesati. So that means integrity, honesty, discipline becomes very important for you. The way like in any of the matters of the work or something, how much honesty, integrity you are following, that becomes very important. And again guys, all what matters is that how respectful you are. Let's say for example, if you have this kind of combination, your Saturn is conjunct with moon, the transiting Saturn is going to be going to your 8th house, and like Saturn is connected with elderly people, with the mature people, people who work very hard for very little wage, someone like me, people who are doing like astrology, occult, and you're not respectful to people like me, you're not respectful to people like who are old, who are poor or something, you mock people, then the punishment comes. So if I were to say, I do not see the Sagittarius moon sign it is that much under the grip or radar of the Saturn. Again guys, when we look at the Saturn, we look at it generally from the point of view that okay, Saturn is not gonna punish us, Saturn is not gonna create problems for me, Saturn is not gonna create delays in my life. So when it comes down to the the Sagittarius moon sign natives, in their case, irrespective of creating that turmoil and anguish in their emotional mental state in their domestic life, it can still lay foundation to building a structure in your life, giving you a structure in your life. But when it comes down to the 8th house transit of the planet Saturn for your moon sign, and next year especially, here I'm talking about from the Leo moon sign natives, over there guys, you have to be little bit careful. So all the matters of the 8th house, like the way when we say we generally see our in-laws from the 8th house, all those people who are connected with research or occult, we see that from the 8th house. Our joint resources with our partner is generally seen from the 8th house. And guys, generally we say this thing that people who are going through crisis or mental health issue and something, all these people are also generally seen from the 8th house. So your conduct, your actions, your integrity while dealing with all the matters of the 8th house will become very important next year, and next year onwards for the next 2.5 years for the Leo moon natives. Now again guys, if you are a kind of person, if you are already devoted to research and you are honest and you are a very spiritual kind of person, you are somehow devoted to finding the deeper purpose in the life or secret functioning of the universe or transcending, trying to understand the whole soul purpose and all. So I would say this thing that those people can actually get benefited, because this is what Saturn's transit to the 8th house will mean. But it all comes down to that, are you in that path or not? Are you a kind of person who is respectful to others or not? You might have like issues or difference of opinion with people, but do you actually manage your integrity, or you lose out on your character when it comes down to dealing with any of the conflicting kind of situation? So all of that will become very important. So yes guys, when I talk about from the Leo moon natives point of view, in your case, for the next 2.5 years, Saturn is going to be creating a cycle of transformation in the matters of your 8th house. Now guys, we also have to give attention to what is the kind of role which Saturn plays for you, for your moon sign. What is the kind of lesson which will come to you? So for that, we have to give attention to what kind of houses Saturn rules in your case. Now in your case, Saturn has got a rulership over your 6th house and the 7th house. So again guys, my intent over here is not to scare you, just to give you, otherwise had I wanted to scare you, I would have said, oh, Saturn's transit from the 5th house from the moon, from the 10th house from the moon, 6th house from the moon, all of that is vulnerable zone. No, I'm not talking about that. So all what I'm saying is that in your case, the lessons will come in the matters of the 6th house and the 7th house. So from the March of next year onwards, the way you deal with the co-workers, the way you deal with your partner in any of the partnership kind of situation, like even God forbid, if any conflict happen, if any difference of opinion happens, are you gonna lose out your your integrity, honesty while dealing in that kind of situation? Are you gonna maintain your grace and something? So all of that is going to be getting tested during this time. Your integrity in the joint resources, let's say for example that you have been stealing from your partners in any of the joint resources kind of issue, then I can assure you that it's gonna be a very tough time for you. So yes guys, this is how it is going to be working out. But like the way I mentioned this thing, that if you are somehow invested in finding the secret functioning of the universe, you are invested in research of any sort, this could be a time of breakthrough. But look at it in this way. Again guys, my intent is not to scare you guys, and I'm very much sure by the time this video will be uploaded, transiting moon is going to be there in the Scorpio, which is going to stress out a little bit to the people, but you have to be very much prepared. Saturn's transit from the 8th house from the moon sign is going to be a 2.5 years of tests and trials. And like the way I mentioned, Saturn in the out of all the planets, Saturn has got a department for the punishment, for the grief, and this is the house which is connected with these two entities. So seek and ask for forgiveness for your sins. Be respectful to the people, and work hard, take out time for yoga, meditation. All of that will become very important. Now in certain cases guys, let's say for example, um, see Saturn's transit from the 8th house. Generally people say that this is going to be the time when people stand a chance for any inheritance or something. But again, based on your and that is the only reason guys I'm talking about customized results. So based on your moon sign, and if your running dasha is not very favorable, the way I'm looking at it, it might create more complications over there. So Saturn will force you to give away your share, which is not rightfully yours. So over there as well, it will, or it might give more rise to the more complications and all. So yes, all what I can say is that dispute, conflict is something, while approaching in these kind of areas, these matters, you have to be very careful next year onwards. I'll keep on making updated videos on that. And again guys, that is the only reason for which I'm here. Like if you want to know customized way how it is going to be influencing you, so do book your reading. Go to the description section of this video. Over there you can book your reading, and then I can look at it that based on your running dasha, based on your moon sign, based on your ascendant, how much you are gonna be coming into the grip or control of the planet Saturn when it is going to be making this move to your 8th house. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs in this small video. For further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.